On the flat, windswept island of Öland, off Sweden's southeastern coast, history hides in plain sight, where its vast limestone plains stretch out like a bleached canvas, dotted with weather-worn stones, silent sentinels of a Viking Age long gone. These stones mark thousands of burials, some of locals, some of strangers who came from faraway lands, and among them rests one man, known not by name, but by a catalog number, VK333. VK333's grave was uncovered in Vickelby parish, a small but archaeologically rich corner of Öland, where his resting place was simple. A stone cist, a coffin made of limestone slabs sunk into the earth. He lay on his back, arms and legs neatly outstretched, with no swords, no gleaming jewelry, no carved runestones to speak his name, marking a life that left little trace beyond this quiet resting place. His grave told us little at first glance, but in the quiet discipline of archaeological science, bones can whisper the truths the soil keeps, revealing VK333's struggles and ultimately his journey. When researchers sampled VK333's teeth for isotopic analysis, they discovered something remarkable. He wasn't from Öland at all, with strontium and oxygen levels in his enamel pointing to a different homeland, perhaps inland Sweden, perhaps across the Baltic. He had traveled far before coming to rest here, an outsider in life, yet laid to rest, following local traditions, buried as one of their own, underlining the interconnectedness of cultures during the Viking Age. But his bones revealed more than his travels, as scientists studied his skull and noticed porous lesions above his eye sockets, a condition called cribra orbitalia, echoing a childhood marked by malnutrition or disease. These tiny holes are the echoes of anemia, likely caused by childhood malnutrition, disease, or both, reflecting VK333's hard start in life. A boy who grew up hungry or ill, surviving in an era when survival was never guaranteed. Yet he did survive, reaching adulthood, with his skeleton bearing the quiet story of resilience in a harsh world, resonating through the ages as a testament to human strength. And Öland itself, where his journey ended, was no provincial backwater, as archaeological studies have shown that up to 70% of the people buried here during the late Iron Age were not local to the island. This was a cultural crossroads, home to warriors, traders, farmers, and migrants, where the Viking world was more than raiding and conquest. It was a network of exchange, settlement, and integration. VK333 belonged to that story, prompting us to question his role in life. Was he a hired hand, brought to work the fields, a craftsman seeking new opportunities, a captive carried against his will? We can only speculate. But his burial tells us something profound. Whatever his beginnings, he died as part of this community, with no evidence of shame or exclusion in his grave. It was a careful, respectful interment, indistinguishable from those of native islanders, where if you close your eyes, you can imagine his funeral. The soft thud of boots on cold earth, the smell of wood smoke in the dusk. There were no grand displays, no warriors' grave goods, but there was dignity in the people of Öland making space for him in their soil and in their rights. VK333 will never have a saga written about him, his name erased by time, his voice silenced for over a millennium, yet his bones speak to us across the ages. They tell us that migration was not unusual, but woven into the very fabric of Viking life, revealing a narrative that transcends borders and time. They tell us that even in an age of conquest and violence, there was also belonging, that a man born far from this Baltic island could live and die among its people and be buried as one of them. In his quiet way, VK333's story bridges centuries, reminding us that history is not only written by kings or carved in monuments, It is lived in the ordinary struggles and small dignities of people like him.